I found condoms in my husband's truck on Christmas. My husband and I were about to have sex and he said wait and walked outside to his truck and came back. I said, "What are you doing?" He said he picked up some condoms. "We have never used condoms." I asked why and he said, "Because I thought you weren't taking your birth control." I said, "No, I'm taking it now." In his defense, last time we had sex I told him to pull out because I missed a few days of taking my birth control. We had sex and I didn't think anything of it until the next day. I thought if he bought condoms for us, why wouldn't he bring them inside with the rest of the groceries? Why would he leave them in his truck? Side note, he works in a different state and is gone 9 to 14 days straight. I asked him, "Why didn't you bring the condoms inside?" He said, "Because I would have said something about it." It was still bothering me that he just had one single condom. So I asked him to go get them from his truck. He came back with 3 condoms attached. I asked him where's the box they came in. He said he threw it away. I asked him where he threw them away. He said at the store. I told him that doesn't make sense. How many were in the box you bought? He looked at my hand that was holding the 3 condoms and said, "All 4. I looked it up, they don't sell condoms in 4. Long story short, I asked him to open his truck. We both went to his truck. First he opened the center console and I noticed instead of picking up the papers that were in there he just patted them and then closed it. We both went to open the glove box. There were more condoms in there. I was so pissed I don't know what I said, but we both walked back into the house. I set the 7 Trojan yellow wrapper, 2 Trojan purple wrapper, 1 Trojan pink wrapper condoms on the table. I asked him for the keys to his truck. He gave them to me, and when I opened the center console under the papers there was an open 3-pack Magnum box with only 2 condoms in there. I told him, "I want you out." It was Christmas Day and we have a 4-year-old and an 18-month-old together. I did not kick him out that day. We did not say one word to each other for the rest of the day. The next day I asked him, "When are you going to leave?" and he said he didn't want to. I told him he's a liar and a cheater. The expiration date on the condoms 2028, 2025 and 2026, 4 different brands with 5 different lot numbers. He's trying to say that he got them for us and maybe when he threw the box away at the store some fell out. Then he tried saying he gave some out. He's a liar and a cheater. I never thought he would f someone else. I feel so hurt. He left the house, but he's making me feel like I'm crazy and overreacting. I need some advice. Holy shit, God, I'm so stupid. I just realized I gave birth to our son in June 2022. 3 months after giving birth I got the Nexplanon implant in my arm. It wasn't until August 2023 I switched to birth control pills. So no fucking reason to buy condoms at all. He's a piece of shit. I was just starting to be okay and not cry all fucking day. Now I just poured salt in my wound and I'm mad crying. This is what he sent. I have never cheated on you. I have bought condoms at different times because you were always on and off your birth control. I've even asked you if I should get condoms because you complain about your birth control, and the last time I got you Plan B you said you didn't want to take that anymore. I've bought condoms that don't get used, and because they sit in my truck, I buy new ones. Some of the younger single guys that I've worked with that go out after work, I've told them that I have condoms in my truck if they need some. I didn't lie to you and I know how it sounds, but that is the truth. I work 12 to 14 hours a day, get off work and cook for everyone in the Airbnb and FaceTime you and the kids before/after I've had a shower. By then it's late and I need to get to bed for work the next day. What I sent. You buy multiple packs of condoms, some from a while ago and some very recent, that we have never used, and keep them in your truck. We don't in your truck, why wouldn't they be at the house? You are a liar and a bad one at that. Good Samaritan, cheater's name, over here buying condoms that he doesn't use with his wife and gives them out to his friends. Then goes and buys more to again not use with his wife, but maybe they fell out of the box that you threw away at Walmart, right? Thanks for breaking up this family. You're not overreacting at all. He was being sketchy because he's guilty. Trustworthy people in relationships are open books with their partners, and he was clearly trickle-truthing you. There's definitely way more to the story. My guess is the condoms are for prostitutes. My second-level guess is he exposed himself to a potential STD at some point and felt bad, so he decided to bag it for you. Which, in his haste, gave him tunnel vision on the optics of running to his truck for the condom, exposing his little secret. Story 2. She cheated with a colleague. Backstory: so I, M33, and wife, F33, worked at the same job. We were building a life in a tiny cabin on top of a mountain. We had been together for 6 years, married for 2 years, and she had taken my name. We were fixing up this place, trying for a child for a long time with no success. Except it finally happened this summer and I was living in the clouds of happiness and love. But then, a random girl, F19, messaged me, telling me that she suspected my wife had an affair with her boyfriend, M19, who worked summers at our job. I confronted my wife about it and she confessed everything. When I was on sick leave for stress, she tried for a child with me while simultaneously having an emotional affair, her words, with this guy. This was 2 months ago. I broke inside and I ended up on the psych ward. She ended up having an abortion. How could this be true? But it was. I am now free to live my life on this tiny farm by myself. And while I understand that a continued relationship with her would be bad, my heart wishes for nothing else than for her to come home and cry with regret so I could forgive her. This will never happen, but I wish it could. I cry for her every day, sometimes until I vomit. I blame myself and searches for what in the world I did wrong. She does seem to regret hurting me, but not necessarily the cheating. Why do you think she had an abortion when you had been trying for a child? She's not being honest. It was a physical affair and either it wasn't yours or she couldn't tell who the father was.